Good morning and happy Thursday. Okay, hello. So, welcome to our 10 a.m. webinar today. Okay, so this is our 10 a.m. 10 to 13 focus. And so, welcome if you are just joining. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is if you're watching at home, so please write to me in the comments. Okay, so write and tell me who you are, so your name and where you're from. Okay, so write in the comments. So you can just write in to say hello. So I want to hear from you. Okay, so hello, tell me your name. Okay, so tell me your name, where you are, and how you are today. Okay, how you are doing today. Okay, so I'm going to get you guys to start typing to me in the comments. Okay, so just to introduce myself. So my name is Lisa. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Ireland. Okay, so I'm from Ireland, from the northwest of Ireland, and I've been living in Italy for 2.5 years now. Okay, so I'm one of our teachers from MAES Meravigli. Okay, so MAES Meravigli in Milan. So it's one of our schools in the center of Milan. Okay, excellent. So we have Federico. Thank you for joining, Federico from Rome. Welcome. Okay, excellent. And I know there's some more of you just joining now, so please write in the comments and tell me how you're doing today, where you are, okay, and also your name as well. As always with these webinars, we want it to be interactive, so we want to get you involved and speaking with me or with whoever to practice your English. Okay, so definitely take a look. Okay, so what we're going to look at in this. So this is a haunted house lesson. Okay, so very spooky. It's going to be me telling you ghost stories. But basically in this focus activity, what we're going to be practicing. So most importantly, we're going to be practicing some modal perfects. Okay, so some modal perfects and also some noises. So some noise vocabulary which is kind of specific, but also, I guess, comes up sometimes naturally with kids, with different things like even just watching TV. And we're not going to write a poem. If you want, you can try. But I think it's a bit too early to start writing poetry. I know there's another poetry lesson later. And welcome, Christina. So we have Christina from Rome as well. Excellent. Thank you for joining. It's great. Thanks for saying hello. Okay, so first of all, so guys, keep writing. It takes a little while sometimes for the comments to come through. Okay, so don't worry if you're sent a comment, it might take a minute or two for it to come through. So there might be a bit of delay. Okay, so in this case, so what I would like you to do, so can anyone tell me, do you like scary stories? Do you like scary stories or scary films? So tell me, I want your opinion. Do you like scary stories or scary films? So do you like horror films, thrillers, anything like that? Or do you just hate them? Okay, do you hate them? So let me know, guys. I want to hear from you. Okay, and we also have Tiziana, welcome, joining from Venice. Fantastic. So in the comments, guys, let me know if you like scary stories or scary films. And if you do, tell me your favorite. Okay, tell me your favorite. If you don't, that's totally okay. Don't worry, this isn't going to get very scary. Okay, so before I begin, I want to talk about haunted. So the meaning of haunted. So a haunted house. So generally a haunted house, when we're talking about something being haunted. Okay, haunted house. So sometimes it's in a scary story or a scary film. So it means that maybe there are ghosts or spirits that are remaining on the property. Okay, so it's usually something that is imagined. Okay, something that is imagined in a movie or in an old, like when you think of as a child, you read scary stories. So haunted house is where there's thought to be ghosts or spirits. Okay, so where there's thought to be ghosts or spirits. So if someone says that a place is haunted, they're maybe joking or saying that people think that there are spirits. Okay, so Tiziana says, I don't like, so this kind, okay, so in this case, films, so we can say these kinds of films. Okay, these kinds of films. Okay, so if we're talking about the plural, so these kinds of films. Okay, or this type, you can also say this type of film. Okay, if you want to be singular, this type of film. Okay, really good. Okay, no problem. Don't worry, Tiziana, we're not going to get into really scary stories in this lesson. Okay, excellent. Federico says, I like scary stories and even films. The story It by Stephen King. Okay, excellent. Yeah, and the film too. Really good. Yeah, I love Stephen King. I think his books are brilliant. And I know it can be a bit of a scary experience to read a scary story, but I also think it's very thrilling. Excellent. Then we have Lavinia. Welcome, Lavinia from Milan. Hello, how are you? Excellent, one of our students. And then Morgana from Florence as well. Excellent. Okay, guys, thank you so much for saying hello. Okay, so very good question, Bruno. Welcome. So you can say both, okay, genre. So you can say what kind of film. Okay, so what kind of film do you like? Okay, so what kind of film do you like? And the same, a similar way, so what genre do you like? So it's a similar meaning. So we can say both. Genre of film do you like? Okay, so the difference here being, okay, so I'm just putting this in the comments to explain. So the difference here being kind of film do you like? You're talking about the type, okay, the type. Okay, so what kind of film, what type of film do you like? Whereas genre, when we say genre, it's very specifically asking for, the difference. So romance, horror, thriller. Okay, genre. So it's the more technical term. Whereas kind is more general. So we're talking about the type. Okay, the type. So you can use both. And Bruno from Milan, welcome. Okay, excellent. Great phrase there, Daniela. So for sure, scary stories are not my cup of tea. Excellent. Really, really good. Okay, not my cup of tea. So if it's not your cup of tea, it's something you don't really like. It's not for you. Great phrase, though. I love that phrase because I also love tea. Okay, so thanks so much, guys. It's great to hear from all of you. Okay, so taking a look at these. Okay, so we have some questions. Okay, so some questions. So in these questions, what I would like you to say, so tell me if you have any ideas. Okay, so any ideas, you can answer any of these questions. So we have, what might you find in a haunted house? Okay, so what might you find in a haunted house? And also, what adjectives come to mind when you hear the word haunted? Okay, so when you hear the word haunted, what adjectives come to mind? So think of some adjectives that could describe something that is haunted or scary. Okay, have you ever been in a haunted house? Okay, so have you ever been in a haunted house? If you have, let me know. Or some, I guess, haunted house, we can say maybe it was rumored to be haunted. Okay. And then if you do or you don't, okay, don't worry. Do you believe in ghosts? Why or why not? So I know some people have different opinions on this. Okay. So if anyone has any answers or can think of any answers to these, please let me know. Excellent. Okay, excellent, Morgana. So creepy. That is a great word. Okay, so creepy. So yeah, this is a really good example of an adjective when you think of something that is haunted. So it's creepy. So really, really good. So if anyone who's watching doesn't know, so something that's creepy, it makes you feel very uncomfortable. Okay, it makes you feel really uncomfortable, and a bit nervous. Something that's creepy. Okay, so sometimes we also talk about people being creepy because they make you feel uncomfortable. Excellent, Lavinia. So you might find ghosts and creepy sounds. Exactly. So creepy sounds, you might find them in a haunted house. Fantastic. Okay, really good. So keep the answers coming in, guys. So I can actually say that I have been in a haunted house. Well, I say again, a haunted house. So I was told. When I was a child, so I was a teenager, I was part of a youth group. And we visited, so they took us to, it's such a bad idea now that I think of it, but they took us to an old mansion, so an old mansion in the countryside in the northwest of Ireland, and they told us all of these ghost stories about about the house, about the people who used to live in the house. I did not sleep at all because I was afraid of the dark when I was that age, so it was terrifying for me. But obviously now I wouldn't be as scared. But when you're a child, you kind of have more of an overactive imagination. Excellent. So Tiziana says, I might find ghosts. Okay, ghosts. Yeah, exactly. Really good. Really good, Daniela. So maybe some ancient furniture. Really, really good. So ancient, so lots of ancient things. And this is an excellent one as well. So Morgana, an abandoned dusty house. Okay, abandoned dusty house. So abandoned, there is nobody around, completely unused anymore. And dusty is really good. So dust, like polvere, so it's the stuff that gets on surfaces after it hasn't been cleaned for a long time. Okay, so we can use that as an adjective to say it's dusty. Okay, dusty. Excellent. Okay, really good. So I love your answers, guys. Yeah, and something as well. So this I think comes up, but you might find a creaky floor. Okay, a creaky floor. Creaky floor. Can anyone, if anyone knows, fantastic. So write in the comments what is a creaky floor. But if you don't worry. So Federico says, I've been only in the touristic site in the games park. Ah, okay. So like a haunted house, like a one that you go into for fun. It's like we would say probably an amusement park. Okay, so just to mention, a haunted house at an amusement park. Amusement. So we call it usually an amusement park. An amusement park, or sometimes they're called also fun house. Sometimes if you go in a haunted house and amusement park. Okay, really good. So yeah, for tourists or for the public, those can also be quite fun as well. Those haunted houses, I think they can also be very funny. So I'm still waiting, guys. Does anyone know what does it mean, a creaky floor? Creaky floor. Okay, and just in case anyone isn't sure, so an amusement park is what we would call something like Gardaland, Disneyland. It's a type of amusement park, or fun park as well. Fun park, we can say. Really good. So I'll give you another few seconds if anyone can explain what it means to have a creaky floor. Okay, excellent. So a floor that creaks. Fantastic, Morgana. A floor that creaks while you walk on it. So if anyone doesn't know a creak, so if you were to walk on something and it creaks, it's when the wood moves. So it moves when you walk in it, and it goes. So like this kind of makes a kind of a squeaky noise, Ooh, great example. So Tiziana says, I've been near a cemetery during the night once. Ooh, very scary. That definitely, I can imagine, was a creepy experience. Very creepy. Yeah, exactly. So Bruno, really good. So an unstable floor, or maybe also a weak floor, is something that makes a creak. Okay, so it makes a creak. So the creak is the sound it makes if you walk on it. So generally, we would say it's an old wooden floor. So a wooden floor makes a creak sometimes when you walk on it. So you hear kind of the noises when people walk, not just footsteps, but it's kind of the noise that the wood makes because it's old or not very solid. Okay, really, really good, guys. So thank you for your answers. So looking at these are some noises. Okay, so some noises. So we want to get you guys to comment. So to choose the correct answer for these noises. So we've kind of given away one of these answers, but it's okay. So in the comments, let me know what you think. So you can just write 1, 2, 3 and the A, B, or C in the comments what you think. So the first question is, what might howl? An owl, a wolf, or a bear? Okay, what might howl? An owl, a wolf, or a bear? Okay, so you can write in the comments what you think. Then what might creak? An old door, an old lady, or an old record player? Okay, so you can choose which you think would creak. What might pop? Okay, so what might pop? A bat, a beer bottle, or a balloon? Okay, a bat, a beer bottle, or a balloon? So I'll give you some time to answer in the comments. Okay, and then I'll give you some examples of these noises as well. Okay, so afterwards. Okay, I don't want to give away any answers, so I'm not going to discuss the nice picture on the side. Okay, wow, really good, guys. Excellent. So we have, I think most people say for 1. So a howl is, yes, of course, a wolf. So howl is that noise that they make, like, oh, a howl. Okay, so a wolf. Excellent. Really, really good. Okay, so number 1 is a wolf. And then really good. So 2. So 2. So everyone's saying 2A. Okay, 2A. Fantastic. So what might creak? So like we said, an old floor or an old door. So talking about a door creaks. So sometimes the creak can be the wood itself or it can be the hinges. Okay, so the hinges of the door are the piece that join them to the wall, to the frame, the hinges. So they make that the creak. Okay, excellent, Bruno. So here we would say the dog barks, and the wolf howls. Okay, the dog barks and the wolf howls. And then perfect. So what might pop? So I think everyone got that, the pop. So the pop would be a balloon. So the pop, the p is the pop is the noise it makes when it explodes. Okay, the noise it makes when it explodes, the balloon pops. Excellent. Okay, so just remember here, so the dog, so we would say dogs, just in general as well, we say dogs bark and wolves. So we would probably use the plural to talk about the general. Wolves howl. Okay, dogs bark and wolves howl. Okay, really good, guys. So, okay, really good. So, oh, okay, we're disconnecting. But if you slam it, so B if you slam it. So I'm going to go back to that. A beer bottle, if you slam it, maybe. Yeah, maybe it makes a popping sound. Okay, so then some more noises. Okay, so some more noises. So these can be a little bit confusing. Okay, they can be a little bit confusing. So here you have to match the animal. So match the animal with the noise. Okay, so with the noise. So we already mentioned bark. Okay, so bark. So as we said, the dog barks. Okay, the dog barks. Okay, dog barks. So what animal squeaks? Okay, really good. What animal squeaks then? So dog barks. What animal squeaks? So number 2. Okay, really good, guys. That's excellent. So number 1 is dog bark. Okay. Some of these are really easy, and then other ones are very confusing. Excellent. Okay, really good, Federico. So number 2, squeak. The squeak is so it's the mouse. Fantastic. Okay, the mouse. And then really good. So the next one is the oink. Okay, oink. I know it's a funny word, but an oink is the noise. So like that's an oink. Oink. Okay. Very good. So an oink is okay, oink. And also can make it more sound. Okay, so it can make a bigger sound to go along with that. Okay, fantastic. So it is a pig. Really good, guys. So a pig oinks. And then a chirp. 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 So we have some answers already coming in. Excellent. Okay. So chirp. So chirp, 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 chirp. That's me actually just making the noise with the word in it. Sometimes you do that. Excellent, guys. Okay, so number 4 is a bird. So a bird chirps. Okay, a chirp is kind of like, it's a very soft noise that a bird makes, just to mention. And then excellent, we already have an answer for number 5. So hoot. So hoot is hoo, hoo, hoo. Okay, hoo. So that is indeed an owl. Okay, an owl. Fantastic. Really good. Okay, you're flying in with the answers, guys. Okay, really, really good. And then the next one, 6, is a roar. Okay, so just to mention, a roar can also, so it can be a noise an animal makes, but you can also say that a person roared in pain. So it's a really loud scream as well. So a person roared in pain. Okay, you can roar in pain, or also sometimes we say like, my mother roared at me, like she really, really shouted. Okay, she really shouted. Okay, excellent. So really good, guys. So the roar is the lion. Okay, I cannot do that. I can do like a very soft version of it. It's like and then meow, I think, is simple. You should know as well. So meow, meow, meow. It's a cat. Okay, excellent. And then oh god, this lesson is so funny. So then I think, I don't know if anyone answered. So 8, okay, fantastic. Federico has it. So 8 is ba. Okay, ba. That's how we say it, a ba. So to ba, that's a sheep. Sheep goes ba. Okay. Then the howl we already had, so the wolf howls. And then fantastic, guys, that's excellent. So the last one you've already started saying. So cock-a-doodle-doo, that's what we say for the rooster. So I know that in Italy, so for everyone who's from Italy, the roosters here say something different. But in English, we say that the noise is cock-a-doodle-doo. So I know it's kikeriki here, so it's a bit different. Partly different parts of the world, roosters speak a different language. Who knew? Okay, excellent. So guys, let me know if you have any questions about different noises. Okay, so if you can think of any other sounds that animals make, okay? So we just have here some alternative names that we have. Okay, so I'm just going to put these here. Okay, fantastic. So really good job, guys. You know these really well. So another thing we might say sometimes about a dog. So a dog goes woof, ruff, bow wow. That's how we might describe it. Okay. Then the squeak can also be called a squeal. But I would say that a squeal is similar to maybe the scream that a pig makes as well. So a squeal can be a high-pitched scream, a squeal. A squeal. So sometimes we joke that like she squealed she squealed for joy. It's when a big loud high-pitched scream. She squealed for joy. Okay, squealed for joy when she got the news, for example. So she squealed for joy when she got the news, like, ah, but high pitched. I'm not going to high pitched scream in case someone calls the police uh, when she got the news. Okay, so when she got the news, just as an example. So we use this for people sometimes too. Okay. She squealed for joy when she got the news. And then, okay, an oink. So an oink can also be called a snort. Okay, a snort. So a snort. Also, we would say a snort can be a noise that people make when when you actually laugh. Sometimes you make a snorting noise. Okay, so you make a snorting noise like, like this. That's a snort. Oh my god, that was really loud. Sorry. So that's a snort. And Twitter, so that is actually where the name of the app comes from, or the site comes from. So Twitter, the noise that describing the noise that a bird makes, or a tweet. So birds sing, we can often say. And then sometimes the noise an owl makes can be called a coo. Okay, a coo. And then a growl. So a growl, just to mention, a growl can be a noise also that a dog makes. So it's kind of that low noise that they make if they're kind of maybe not sure or maybe a bit nervous. So they go, "Rrr." That's a growl. Okay, a growl. Okay, and then, so other terms, so purr, quite commonly say the cat is purring. Okay, so the cat is purring when it's making that noise when they're satisfied. If you're petting them, okay, they make that low purr sound. Caterwaul, I have to say, I think that's very old-fashioned. It's not used that often. Okay, a bleat. Okay, so a bleat is a kind of a more higher pitch noise that a cat makes. Or sorry, not a cat. Oh my god, a sheep. And then a snarl. Okay, so a snarl is more like an angry. So again, it can be similar to a growl, but it's more angry. And a yelp is like a high-pitched scream that a dog or a wolf makes. Okay, yelp. Like, okay, and then a cluck. So a cluck is something that a duck can also do. Okay, a cluck. Okay, so that's a lot of noise vocabulary, but let me know if you have any questions. Really good job on the quiz. Okay, so to practice some of our modal perfects. Okay, so the idea here is you are alone in the house at night. You hear a loud bang. Okay, you hear a loud bang, so a big poof. Okay, so a loud noise from somewhere. Okay, so in this case, we have to match our different modals, okay, so our different modal perfects, to what we think it could have been, or it couldn't have been, or it must have been. Okay, so take a look at these. Okay, so take a look at these and try and match. So you can just put the number and the letter matching in the comments, okay? So the idea here, number one, it must have been. Number two, it couldn't have been. Number three, it could have been. And then number four, I should have. Number five, I wouldn't have. And number six, I might have. Okay, so take a look because you have to match it depending on what the possibility is. Okay, so what the possibility is in this case. Okay, so for number one, it must have been. So the options are checked all the doors and windows. The cat, she's a troublemaker. Okay, so she's a troublemaker. Forgotten to close the shutters. Okay, so not a lot of these are making sense with the first of. Okay. Stayed here if I'd known it was haunted. The neighbors, they're away. The wind slamming the door shut. Okay, fantastic. Really good, guys. Okay. So everyone thinks it must have been the cat. She's a troublemaker. Okay, must have been the cat. She's a troublemaker. Let's see. Excellent. Okay, really good. That's perfect. So yeah, it must have been. So in this case, must have. So we need a justification. Okay, so we need a justification for why it must have been. Okay, a justification. So we have the justification. It must have been the cat. She is a troublemaker. Okay, so we have a justification to go with it. Because if we say must have been, you give a reason why or a justification as to why. Okay, really, really good. Excellent. And then for 2, so let's just see. We have most people say 2E. Okay, so it couldn't have been the neighbors, they're away. Okay, it couldn't have been the neighbors, they're away. Excellent. Okay, really good. So yeah, in this case, we can say it couldn't have been. It is not possible. Okay, so another way to say it couldn't have been. It is not possible. Okay, so it is not possible because they're not here. Okay, so I'm just going to... Okay. 1 second. Sorry, I know the screen has gone a bit blurry, so I'm just going to fix it. 1 minute. Unfortunately, at the moment, so there are so many people using YouTube because everyone is working from home. So there are some technical problems with YouTube. But I hope we can get this fixed. Okay. But thank you guys for your patience. Okay. So we were on number 2. Sorry, guys. Trying to get it to load. Oh. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you all the answers because this, for some reason, YouTube is crashing the screen. So I'm just going to show them all done because you've all pretty much given your answers now. So really, really good. So excellent. So most people are in agreement with all the answers, which is great. Okay, so I'll go through them now. So it couldn't have been the neighbors, they're away. So like I said, it is not possible that it could be the neighbor. So it isn't possible that the noise could have been them because they're away. So we have a reason why it's not possible for them to be. Okay, to be the one causing the noise. So really good. And then it could have been. So there's a possibility. So really good. So most people got that. It could have been the wind slamming the windows shut. Okay, so we're just expressing it could have been, it's a possibility. We don't know for sure. Okay, we don't know for sure, but it could be, it's possible, it could be the windows slamming the shut. Okay, slamming shut. And then I should have, okay, so I should have, remember we're expressing a past intention that we did not do. Okay, so I should have checked all the doors and windows. Okay, so really good, guys. So you all got that as well. So I should have. I know some people maybe made a mistake, but don't worry. No problem. So the reason I should have checked all the doors and windows. Okay, so I should have done that. Whereas, okay, the form is correct. I should have forgotten, but we wouldn't say I should have forgotten, um, because you don't intend to forget. Because I should have as a past intention. So you're expressing past intention. So we wouldn't intend to forget something. Okay, just to mention. But yeah, the form is correct because it's I should have checked. Okay, I should have checked. And then I wouldn't have. So really good, guys. So I wouldn't have stayed here if I'd known it was haunted. Fantastic. So if I'd known it was haunted. Okay, so in this case, again, I wouldn't have past. Okay, so past possibility that we would have changed. So I wouldn't have stayed here if I'd have known. Okay, if I'd known it was haunted. Okay, so I would have changed something. So really, really good. And then the last one, so excellent. So I might have forgotten. Okay, so I might have, again, similar to it. Sorry, similar to it could have been. We're expressing a possibility. So I might have. It's a bit maybe less certain. I might have forgotten to close the shutters. Okay, I might have forgotten to close shutters, but they're very similar in terms of expressing a possibility of something. Okay, so really, really good. And don't worry if you got a couple wrong, that's no problem. It's just to practice the different usage of these modal perfects. Okay, so then what I would like to do next is some practice. Okay, so some practice for you guys using modal perfects. Okay, so using the modal perfects. So the idea here is Sally is staying in a haunted house. Throughout the night, she hears different noises. So what noises could they be? Okay. Okay, so in this case, we have a crack, okay, a creak, a howl, a bang. Okay. So this is a very okay, so it's a very I don't know, it's a very specific example. But what I would like you to do is to use modal perfects. Okay, so to use your modal perfects to make a hypothetical. So make what it could have been. Okay, it could have been. So to kind of to practice making an assumption of what it could have been. Okay, so the first example for crack is it might have been the sound of bones breaking. That's very creepy. Okay, it's very creepy. Okay, but use your modals. Okay, to modals to make examples. Okay, so to make examples of what it could, so what the noises could and couldn't be, okay? What the noises could and could be. So you just take a look and try to make some example sentences. The noises could or couldn't be. Okay, perfect. So you can practice using some of your spooky vocabulary or just even making some hypothetical sentences. So practice your modal perfects. Okay. So guys, you can write in the comments. Okay, so write in the comments just some example sentences. So we have the crack, a creak, a howl, a bang, a screech. Okay, crack, creak, bang, howl, screech. Okay, so you can write and imagine. Okay, so imagine what it could have been. Okay, could have been. Okay, so in this, there's no wrong answers. It's just to practice using your modal perfects. Okay, so practice using your modal perfects. So just another example. It could have been a ghost walking on the old wooden floors. Okay, for creak. It could have been a ghost walking on the old wooden floors. Okay. Excellent. Okay, really good. Okay, so Creek Bruno says it could have been the floor. Fantastic. Okay, really good. It could have been the floor. Brilliant. Okay, excellent, Tiziana. So she must have walked. So just remember, we would say she must have walked on the wooden floor. Okay, so on the wooden floor. Because we would describe it, so like you can see in the example for number 2, when we describe the floor that is made of wood, we would say on the wooden floor. Okay, on the wooden floor. Really good. And Federico says, it could have been the noise of the wind breaking the wall. Wow. Okay. So very, very strong wind. Very, very strong wind. Excellent. Yeah, really good. Really good. Okay. And then Christina says it could have been the doors. Okay. So remember plural, the doors that were opening. Okay. The doors that were opening. Okay. It could have been the doors that were opening. Excellent. These are really good examples, guys. Okay. I must have beaten too hard. Okay, I must have beaten too hard when knocking the door. Okay, so we would probably put a when there. So I must have beaten too hard or hit too hard when knocking the door. Okay, very good. Excellent, Morgana. Then Tiziana. So bang, a ball might have popped. Excellent. Okay, so a bang, because sometimes we can say a bang when something explodes. So really, really good. A bang can be when something hits the floor, or it can be when something explodes. A bang. Really, really good. Excellent. Okay, really, really good examples, guys. Okay. Then, okay, so Federico says for 3, so for the howl. Okay, so in this case, we would just say, it must have been. Okay, it must have been. It must have been the wolf in the forest. Okay, it must have been the wolf in the forest. Really good. Okay, great, guys. This is excellent. I'll give you a bit more time to practice your modal perfects. Okay. So really good. So yeah, it's just, again, good to practice because it can be a bit confusing when you're thinking of these hypotheticals or predictions as well in this case. So it could have been, it must have been, really, really good. It might have been. Okay, and just to show, so another example here of the howl, it must be a wolf out in the woods. So we can say it this way, it must be a wolf out in the woods, or it must have been a wolf out in the woods. Excellent. Okay, really good, Bruno. So must have been the wolf on the hill. Okay, must have been the wolf on the hill. Really good. And then Federico, it could have been some hunters outside. Really good. Yeah, so the bang can be like a gunshot. Okay, like a gunshot. Really good. Could have been some hunters outside. Okay, excellent, Tiziana. A wolf must have walked in the garden. Really good. Excellent. Okay, these are great, guys, and you're using the structures really well. Okay, and then this one. So again, talking about our hunt. Hi guys, sorry. As I said, YouTube is having some problems this morning because there are so many people online. So sorry about that. It just for a second. I hope you can hear me okay now. Okay, really good. So we have a couple more examples from you guys. Okay. So yeah, a wolf must have walked in the garden. Really good. And the bang. So this is what I was reading a second ago. So it might be spirits trying to get in the door. So spirits is another term for ghosts. Okay, so the spirits are the ghosts trying to get in the door. So again, going with the creepy haunted house theme. Okay, and a screech. Okay, so just in case anyone doesn't know, so a screech is a very, very high pitched scream. Okay, it's a very high pitched scream. Okay, a screech. Okay, so it can be a screech. So I would say it's a scream, but you could also talk about, um, I don't know, because nails scratching, they make, I would say more of a squeak, but a screech is more related to scream. Okay, excellent. Yeah. Sorry, Bruno, it just cut off for a second. Um, don't know why. It's just with so many people using internet at the moment and also using YouTube. Okay, so it could be nails scratching on the wall. So yeah, I guess a screech because it's a very high-pitched noise. It could be that noise of nails scratching, but I would also just say a screech could be someone, so someone who is screaming. So excellent. So really good, like the example here that Federico has given. So it might have been some angry ghosts. Really, really good. Okay, it might have been some angry ghosts. Excellent. So that's really good practice. So guys, let me know if you have any questions, but you all seem to be really good at your modal perfects. Okay. So then this is something for the last couple of minutes just to go through. Okay. So when we use, okay, so talking about sounds, okay, so sounds. So when we talk about the sound action that something makes, we can use the gerund, okay, so the gerund form. So the example here we have is the wind whistling through the trees. Okay, the wind whistling through the trees. Okay, so just to go through, so clanking. So the clank is like something a chain does, okay? A chain. So a metallic rope, okay? A rope made of metal is a chain, okay? A rattle, okay? A rattle is a type of sound. So sometimes we talk about a rattling cough, so it's shaky. It's shaky. And also a rattle is something that a child has. Okay, really good. So for example, we could also say branches banging against the window. Okay, branches banging against the window. So in this case, if you want, just for the last couple of minutes, you can make some sentences. So make some sentences practicing using the gerunds. So we have whistle, howl, scratch, creak, moan, blow. Okay, so also the wind blowing through the trees, you could say. So blowing through the trees. Okay, groan, bang, pop. Okay, so if you want, you can make some sentences using the examples. So we have the wind, an old door, a ghost, chains, wolves, and branches. Okay, so yeah, so when we're describing a sound, we can often say, use the gerund like that for the action. Okay, so for the action. Okay, so we're almost coming to the end, but if you want just for the last minute to send me some examples of describing sounds using the gerund, okay, so describing the action of the sound, okay, and let me know if you have any final questions as well, okay. And sorry, again, there have been some problems with YouTube because there are so many people online. So sorry if you're sending comments and it's taking a while for me to get them. Unfortunately, it's just so many people using the internet right now. Okay. So just, I don't know if any of you sent examples, but for just to show you, so chains, we could say we can hear the sound of chains clanking loudly or rattling as well, because it's kind of a shaky noise, rattling loudly. Okay, and Bruno, there where you said the chalk screech, so screeches on the blackboard, or we can say I hate the noise of chalk screeching on the blackboard as well, so we can say it that way too. And also the wolves howling in the woods. Okay, howling in the woods. Okay, or again, branches, we can say banging against the window or tapping against the window. Okay, so sorry if some of you are still making comments and they haven't come through, but unfortunately I have to finish. But guys, thank you so much. So Federico, Tiziana, Morgana, everyone, Bruno, so thank you all so much for your participation. It was lovely to talk to you all, and really, really good work with your modal perfects. And yeah, so an old door. So Bruno, there you can say an old door creaking at night. Okay, so creaking at night, you can use the gerund. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. And at 11, there's going to be another webinar. So I think you're going to be practicing some poetry if you want to tune in for that. Okay, so bye guys. Thank you so much.